Hey guys, welcome to another video. As you can see, I've got another car with me today. It's the Aston Martin Vanquish. I thought it'd be interesting to compare and contrast the two cars, my CLA45 and the Aston Martin. Now, before some of you rip into me saying that these cars are completely different, that's the whole point. I think it makes comparing and contrasting them more interesting. The whole idea of what's a sports car like and what's a supercar like. When you've got the two side by side, I think it's easier to physically see the differences and just see how big the differences really are. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I sure as hell I'm going to enjoy making this video as well.
Got summer on my mind, nowhere else, no Lord, take me downtown to you. People show me love, but I can't take it. What I said was true, real pain can't fake it. Still they wanna be with me, still they wanna leave with me, still they wanna feel like me, still I can't.
If you follow my channel, you'll have seen enough of my car over the past few months. It's a CLA, it's got some fancy bits on it, tweaked, and it's now an AMG. So let's get straight onto the supercar. Now, most of you will know Aston Martin brought the Aston Martin DB11 out at the end of last year, I think. Personally, I don't actually like the looks of the DB11 too much. I think, the front's very nice, but the rear just looks a bit weird. Whereas with the Vanquish, in my opinion, again, it doesn't matter which angle you look at it from, it just looks stunning. It's probably worth mentioning that I'm an Aston Martin fanboy, so I'm very unlikely to have anything negative to say in terms of looks. I know there are a few niggles here and there about the way the car might drive. Unfortunately, I won't be driving it out on the roads today. It's rush hour and I'm not insured on it, so maybe another day, hey? What can we say about exterior styling between a sports car and a supercar? Well, my CLA45 is pretty low. Sports suspension, sports brakes, etc. You've got all the customary splitters, small aero parts, front and rear. So the CLA45 does also have a diffuser at the rear. On a supercar, the main differences you'll find are that it's just a lot more pronounced and more exaggerated. Let's have a look at the front splitter on this. It's just a lot more aggressive. It's also in carbon as well. I think that's an option on this particular Vanquish. There is a fair amount of carbon all around, but yeah. Now when you can see both of them side by side, you can see that this split is quite small compared to the Aston, and it's supposedly to help with aerodynamic performance. At high speed, I'm sure it does. Brakes as well. So the brakes aren't small on the CLA45, but as you can see on this Vanquish, they're absolutely massive. Again, we have more carbon at the rear and a much more aggressive style diffuser. Aston have also released a Vanquish S, supposedly like an updated version of the Vanquish. Very subtle changes. There is slightly more aggressive styling. I'll wave a picture around. And they've moved away from the twin exhaust system to a quad exhaust system as well. So what's under the bonnet of a sports car and a supercar? If you don't already know, the CLA45 is powered by a tiny 2-litre 4-cylinder engine. These are handcrafted. A chap called Kay built mine. And this thing kicks out 380 horsepower. In comparison, the Aston Martin Vanquish is powered by a proper 6-litre V12. This is naturally aspirated, whereas my CLA45 is turbocharged. So this produces near enough 570 horsepower, about 450 pound-foot of torque, but it will do more than 200 miles an hour, and it will achieve 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds. But I think it's just interesting to see how big a proper V12 is and how much space it takes up in comparison to the front of the CLA. I mean, I've actually surprised myself there. The difference is mega. Any of you guys familiar with my channel, you'll be pretty familiar with the interior. So it's not as standard as you might think. It does have quite a sporty feel to it, which is one of the things that I love about the CLA45 in comparison to some of its rivals. I don't have the performance steering wheel, with the Alcantara and the red strip at the top. I think that would have rounded it off really nicely. In comparison, you've got a bit more of a grown-up look in the Vanquish, whereas my car's got all the red accents and red stitching. I mean, I suppose it depends how you spec each car, but this is a very clean, modern interior. Aston Martin styling is, go so far as to say that it's quite timeless. Now there are rear passenger seats, as you can see, but if you're a normal sized human being and you're not really going to fit anyone in the back here, like, that's tiny. In emergencies, I suppose you could, small kids, that kind of thing, but no, you won't be getting a full-size human in the back of that. But this isn't what this car's about. Quite a nice touch with Aston Martins is that you don't really have a traditional style key, so it comes as like this little gadget here, and what you do is you push it into there, and that is where it stays. I think when you sat in here, the first thing to notice is just how much lower you sit compared to everything else, but that is just typical of supercars. Now, the greatest thing about the Vanquish is probably its engine, and before I start it up and rev it and annoy all of my neighbours, I'm going to start up my CLA45 just so you've got like a benchmark, just to really see just how loud this thing is. It doesn't sound bad, especially for a 2-litre engine. I think it sounds pretty good, but this thing is insane. So let's start this up. So you stick this, let's do foot on the brake. Now, is that loud or is that loud? That is very loud. You rev it and the whole car shakes. Now, for me personally, the biggest separation between a sports car over there and a supercar over here was what you just heard coming out of the back of those exhausts. Anyway guys, I know this was just a quick video and you probably wanted to see it on the road in action, but hopefully one day in the future I'll do that and I could probably talk through some of the features inside and how the car actually drives, again in comparison to a normal road car. Give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was cool in any way, shape or form, if it was interesting, and make sure to subscribe down below because in the future I'll be having more cars like this, fingers crossed, as well as refeaturing it and doing more with the car. Thanks for watching guys,